So let's begin by discussing engaged reading. Now, I am not going to lie to you. The passages on the reading exam are, for the most part, not exciting. These passages are usually very academic in nature, and it would not be unusual for you to be assigned to read such a passage in, say, a freshman or maybe even a sophomore level college class. That means the tone and the style tends to be a little stiff and formal, and perhaps some would say even a little boring. You'll probably find that you really need to focus your brain while you're reading these passages to stay engaged. I personally have found that it's really easy for my mind to drift when reading these passages. I'll be reading along, doing great, and then all of a sudden I find myself thinking, tacos. So here's a couple of key things you need to keep in mind about these passages. First of all, the natural science, social science, and humanities passages are pulled from real essays. And as such, they are non-fiction, and they usually relay a series of facts to demonstrate the author's overall point or thesis. In other words, these passages usually contain a central theme, a list of supporting facts and examples, and possibly even a conclusion or an opinion. To answer questions associated with these passages, you need to be able to quickly analyze and identify the purpose of the passage, and then categorize the supporting facts presented by the author. Now, if you're the type of person who really digs majors like science, engineering, or even political science, you'll probably find that these passages are much easier for you to digest. Now, the fiction passage, on the other hand, is just that. It is fictional in nature. It's usually an excerpt from a much longer story. Now, where the natural science, social science, and humanities passages require you to kind of put on your Mr. Spock ears and analyze just the facts, ma'am, the fiction passage requires a much more emotional approach. To answer the fiction passage questions, you need to be able to identify the key characters in the story and determine what is happening from each character's perspective. In essence, you really need to be able to get inside the head of each character and understand what they're thinking and feeling, as well as how they relate to each other. Now, usually students who love English literature do very well on the fiction passage, while the science and engineering types, that would be me, struggle a little bit more.